Hey, what's up, you guys? Your girl G here. Welcome back to my channel. Just sitting here really fast, and I wanted to get a chance to come and talk to you guys about Toya and Reginae. I'm a couple of days behind on it. I wanted to do it yesterday, but I'm laying in bed, so that's why it's looking like this, y'all. I'm chilling laying in bed, not obviously by my usual post. But we still gonna talk about, like I said, the episode of Toya and Reginae. I wanted to knock it out because there were a couple of things that I did want to talk about. This was a pretty decent episode. Reginae, girl, you need to go to therapy, okay? You need to go to therapy ASAP because the the antics and the immediate responses of you to immediately go to social media is one that is clearly unhealthy, and you continue to do it. So obviously there's some things that are like trauma responses for you, and they definitely need to be handled if you ever want to be in a healthy relationship. So yeah, you guys, Toya Reginae, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's not make this a long review. We open up, matter of fact, with Reginae, Armon, they were fighting, so they decided when he finally got back from LA, let's go do a quick little date. And so they end up going to ride ATVs, which I love. I grew up riding four-wheelers. I like active, activities for couples to do. But basically, he was like, yeah, in LA, I got so much stuff done. I had business, I had music, I had to make, yada, yada. And she's like, well, that's cool and everything, but like, still text me. He kind of felt like, well, her messaging me was her trying to like smother him, slash, it was a distraction for him. He was telling Red in the previous episode that like he got to do better. Like he learned that it the communication, that's your girlfriend. You don't go without communicating to her while you're in LA the whole time you're there. Did you just feel like you weren't supposed to message her the whole time you're there? So you say, hey babe, I'll call you later when I get back tonight. It's super busy. I'm in the middle of making a song. Like, you could have easily messaged those things, but it's clear Armand does this thing where he likes to punish and thinks it's okay and justifies it. Well, you keep texting me, so I'm not gonna respond. Wouldn't she keep texting you because you're not responding? Like, he's like kind of on one of those things, So yeah, basically they kind of make up, and at the moment they were trying to give it another go, but it didn't work. So after that, Beedy, y'all know she's moving in with Toya. Toya's house is gorgeous, and so she has an extra room for Beedy. She goes down there and she's just like, super thankful, obviously. Y'all, Beedy is gorgeous. Like, Beedy and Toya, like, they're just gorgeous. And when you see them in scenes, Beedy's face just look so nice. The makeup is on point. It's not too much. Like, Beedy is super gorgeous, y'all. But nonetheless, Toya's super excited because she's been trying to build this relationship with, Beedy. She's the older sister. And she's like, I just want to have that, obviously, familial bond. I'm big sister, you're little sister. Like, that's what I want. But Beedy talks to her best friend and basically was like, she knows this was necessary. Moving away from Mel was just the next step of her life, yada, yada. Yeah, Beedy's just, really trying to get her life right after clearly making this huge misstep with Mel that was playing her. Mel was playing all up in Beedy's face. Everyone's like, Mel, do you not see what's going on? Did you listen to what you just said? You dropped her and her ex slash not ex that she's still messing with boyfriend to the airport. Did you hear what you just said? So it took time for Beedy for it to click. Yeah, so after Beedy comes over, she goes out with Red. There's a scene where she goes out with Red, and basically it's Red being a good husband, like, babe, I know you love your family, but you gonna drive yourself crazy trying to get everybody to work. Like, she's like, you don't get it. You grew up, with the perfect family, your parents and everything. I grew up with an addict mom. You don't understand. He's like, it's not about that. I'm glad, like, Yes, it's understood that he might not have the same traumas as you, but the point is still the same of, yeah, you grew up with this trauma, and I understand that's why it's making you this way, but don't change the fact that you can't allow yourself to be driven crazy trying to get something. You could try all you want, but if they're not going to cooperate with you, there's nothing you can do. And you still have a husband, you still have a daughter, you have two daughters that you have to live for, you know. And so I really hope Toya gets together, because girl, don't you chase off no good man like Red. From what I see, Red is a very good man, Savannah. Very emotionally intelligent, you know, works. Like, from what I see of Red, you know, I'll just say from what I see so far, like, he's a good one. So don't allow yourself to be so emotionally invested in that you don't leave enough space to be emotionally, you know, connected to your husband. Um, and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna try. Okay. She's like, you know, it's harder said than done. It's like, okay. So she gets a text message from Reginae, basically like, Mom, I need to get away. You know, my girls, I'll be in Miami. See you when I get back. And Reginae basically needs to go because her confession, she's like, yeah, me and Armon tried to give it another try, but it's just not gonna work. So I'm in LA to get away. So while she was in LA, somebody tried to, you know, rob the joint. And so that's got her feeling all types of anxious, which I could only imagine. Like, I wouldn't even want to stay at home. Um, so when she gets back, they deal with that. Um, there was a quick scene with Toya. She links up with her friend Danielle. She fills her in on everything, trying to get her mama to the doctor, because her and Beedy were getting like the little IV bags, you know, little nutrient bags that all the celebrities be doing, the little vitamin bags. And so the mama came in, and she's like, "Mama, get you?" And she's like, "Nope." And so the nurse was like, "Girl, get you a checkup. Like, make sure you know, get your vitamins and everything." And I need to keep saying, I'm good, I'm good, you know. She's like, when you get a mammogram? She's like, I got one when y'all was born. Heifer, that was 40 years ago. What do you mean? You ain't been to the doctor in 40 years? If you don't go and get your ass a checkup, because that's what the black community do. The old folks in the black community, they will avoid doctors like the plague, and they be having issues wrong with them. And if you can catch it early, you know? Um, but yeah, Anita was fighting, and so she told Danielle, like, I gotta figure out a way to get my mama to the doctor, because she need a checkup. It's been way too long, you know. So what happened after that? That was like important. Rachel got back, and she, you know, goes to meet her mom, and basically she was like, you know, I was just so scared to see that, you know, somebody broke into my house. And she's like, you know, I put it on Twitter. And her mom's like, Twitter again, Reginae? So she's like, well, you know, why would you do that? She was like, I'm not gonna lie, you know, I posted it. She posted it thinking that it was gonna get Armon to respond to her, because her and Armon, I guess, you know, weren't talking at the moment. And Reginae thought that was going to get him to check in on her. And I think that was her way of being passive aggressive and low key checking to see if he still cared and see if he would still check in on, like, they could still maintain a relationship. And it got thrown back in her face. But also, Reginae, that's very unhealthy that you're doing things like that to, like, try to see if a man is still connected to you, or trying to get a response from him that you were like vying for. You wanted to feel like checked up on, like cared for, like, you know, a type of security from him. And you went about it in a very delulu way. And so, Regina, you definitely have some ways about yourself that need, you know, healing, because that's like not okay. And then you're upset because it's like, well, did he know? Like, so Toya was like, well, did he know before you posted on Twitter? She was like, no, I didn't. Like, she didn't tell him. So what the freak? Like, if he found that on Twitter, because she's like, I know he's seen it. You went to Twitter instead of just text messaging him, say, hey, oh my God, I just had something scary happen. You know, I, you know, was robbed. You probably might have got a response. Not saying you, but like, you probably would have got a better response to him finding out on Twitter. So the mom was just like, "Girl, Reginae, you can't keep doing this. Like, you can't keep like going to Twitter for everything." And all Reginae keeps saying like, "Oh, it's our generation. It's our generation." Yeah, it might be our generation, but don't make it right. She at all. Um, so she's planning a surprise party for her friend Danielle, and she invites Reginae. So Toya and Beedy end up talking in one scene, and basically trying to catch up because Toya's thing is like, while you're here, like I really want to talk things out because I talk to everybody else, and they're telling me that you feel some type of way, that you feel like an outsider, like do I make you feel like an outsider? And she's like, no, no, it's not that I feel like an outsider. I think Beedy suffers, she does not do good with confrontation. Like, she'll talk to other people about the issue, but then when she's confronted with the person with the issue, it's like she changes all tune. And I'm glad Toya at least got to the point, like, and getting her comfortable and being like, look, if you feel that way, like, I can't change that, but just tell me, Um, and Beedy was like, she just kind of was nervous because when she's like, I don't want to be a burden to you, I'm so thankful that you allowed me in your house because at the end of the day, like, you be saying stuff, kind of like, oh, everybody come to me with their BS, and they did like a flashback, and Toy was like, girl, I ain't even gonna lie, I don't even be talking about you. I be talking about Casey because every time I see him, all it's ever about is my music this, my music that, money this, money that. Casey is one of those niggas who's a victim. He's gonna be a ultimate victim. Everything in his life is going wrong. It's nobody's fault. It's everybody's fault, but he is. He wants a help and a handout. Casey is just the quintessential, just a hole, and he takes his anger out on everybody else, but still wants expectations from these people. And so Beady's like, I don't want you thinking that I'm just using you or wanna, take advantage of you. And she's like, girl, I'm not thinking that you like somebody else. Um and so yeah, Beady was just like thankful and everything. She's like, I want our relationship to be like organic. I want it to just naturally happen. And that's just what it's got to be for them. It's a good thing that she's moved in, and all it is just y'all sitting down talking. Like, y'all can, have movie night together. Y'all can do y'all's nails. Like, there are just little things that y'all could do together to now build this relationship. Y'all could cook. Y'all go be like cooking together. Like, things that could build. So y'all just have to build upon that. But I really, from what I see, I'm really enjoying the way Beedy and Toya's relationship seems to be going, and so I just hope this also is a good stepping stone for Beedy to get started on her life as well. Um, Toya takes her mama to the doctor. She surprised her. Ooh, girl, I got a surprise. Meet you at 12. And she walked in the building. Anita was like, hell nah, bitch, you got me. So she go in the office. It's Contessa. And Dr. Contessa did everything she could to make, Mama Anita comfortable. She was just asking, simple questions, nothing too super, like crazy. Have you been to the doctor before? When's the last time you had a checkup? What do you love most in the world? Like, she's just trying to give her a gentle push and reminder about the things that you need to stay alive for. And so Anita talked about that, like, I got to be here for my grandbabies. I got to be here for my kids. But the unfortunate thing is she's lost her sister to cancer. I think she lost two sisters, if I'm not mistaken, or a sister and an aunt or something like that. And so doctors scare her. That's one thing that you try to avoid going to the doctor for, of like, you're scared to get the bad news, but you can't keep pushing it off because if there is bad news, the sooner you catch it, the better. Preventative medicine is the way to go. So they scheduled an appointment for next week, and Anita says that she gonna promise to go. Um, so there was another moment where Toya and Reginae meet up. They go for drinky drinks, and Toya is, feeling some type of way after she got back. She did like a little show, and topics of like, oh, what's love bombing and things like that. And she basically posted on Twitter, it really kind of triggered her, like, oh, that is love bombing, that is, because she was like, and then the person I love the most didn't even check up on me. Like, it was very passive aggressive. Like, who she was talking about. Like, Toya, you gotta stop posting on the internet. Like, her mom was like, girl, what I gotta do? Put you on a Twitter ban? Like, what he's doing is not right, but what you're doing isn't right either. Constantly getting on Twitter, um, and so also as well, Reginae talked about moving, and she's like, I just really need to, I just need to get out of here. I don't know where I'm gonna be, if it's in LA, in Atlanta, or out of Atlanta. She's like, you moving out of Atlanta? And Reginae was like, I'm just looking around, and so of course Toya just, oh, it's a house 15 minutes from us. You'd be around the corner. It's got a pool. And all Reginae's thinking is, how I'm gonna tell my mama that I ain't trying to be here no more. I ain't trying to be here. But I'm glad that Toya checked Reginae, like, girl, the internet stuff, you gotta stop. Like, Reginae, it's a lot. And you want people not to be in your business, but you got social media in your business. Like, y'all might be a YouTube couple, but like, dang, everything ain't gotta be on social media. And then she's like, feeling like she's dealing with a clout chaser. Armon could possibly be. Like, he could be. He very much could be. And now that y'all are together, you might not have to deal with that. But watching Reginae, her trauma responses, they're very unhealthy with how she deals with being triggered, about her trust issues, about her anxiety, all of those things, because it's clear that she has it. Um, that social media stuff is very toxic to a relationship. That passive aggressive, stuff on Twitter and Instagram, So yeah, nah. It's the party. It's for Danielle, the little surprise party. Everybody shows up. Toya get lit. She's like, girl, I just need a break to not think about anybody. My sister, my mama, my big headed ass, brother, his ungrateful ass. Everybody's getting turned up, old school versus new school. The new girls came in with Reginae, and they wasn't bringing to the vibe. They surprised Danielle. They got the food, everything, and they getting drinky drinks. And so finally, Reginae comes in, was like, girl, my mama lit, she be lit. Toy was over there bouncing that ass. Um, so Danielle checks on Reginae, was like, girl, what's going on with you? How are things going? You moving? She's like, yeah, girl, I'm moving, Um, and I'm just kind of think I just really need to get out of Atlanta. She's like, what you mean? Like, you moving out of Atlanta? And she's like, I've been thinking like possibly LA. And so Toya walks by, was like, LA. And so Danielle was like, oh, this is serious. Like, she really think about moving. Reginae definitely waited to tell her mom in a public setting. And around Danielle, who could probably offer her mom a little support, Danielle clearly seems to be the go-to for everybody. She is very evenly kiltered, emotionally, intelligent, and knows how to communicate each other's issues to the other person that they probably have a problem with. So Reginae definitely strategically waited for her mama to be around people to tell her, or especially Danielle, like, to help with the situation. So Toya was like, I just can't control her. That's, she grown. She's an adult. And then she started tearing up, but that's like all I got. She just in there crying. This all I got, was my girls. So she started crying, and that's when the episode ended. So yeah, you guys, Toya and Reginae, like, this definitely, it's a cute little episode, cute. Beedy and Toya, what do you guys think about their relationship? Do you guys feel like Toya should ultimately give up, necessarily not on the idea of bringing her family together, but give up on the idea of like it having to be your whole family? Like, you can't get your whole family to operate, then you focus on the ones that are willing to work on it. So you have Anita, she willing to go to the doctor, and be there and continue to stay sober. You have Beedy, who's, working on being open and communication and But then you got Casey, like I said, head ass. His ungrateful, wanna be spoiled ass. You might not be able to get your whole family, Toya, to cooperate and work on being a bond, but you need to understand to accept the ones that will work with you and that can and aren't just disrespectful little hoes. I tell you, got the nerve talking about you dead to me, boy. Casey, shut up, ungrateful ass. Yeah, you guys. And then Reginae, what you guys think about Reginae? Like her relationship with Armon. Do you guys feel like Armon was possibly using her for clout, or wasn't faithful to Reginae while he was in LA? And what do you guys think of Reginae always constantly going to social media? What do you guys feel like that um how that plays into her relationships and just about who Reginae is as a whole? You know, people be coming for Reginae. They do. And a lot of it is have the fact that, you know, Reginae at one time was a bratty little being, you know. Like she said, you know, people always consider that bratty little 13-year-old kid, but, you know, and they don't want to watch, like, see me grow and evolve. And you might be growing and evolving, but not completely all the way when you're doing this Twitter shit. But yeah, you guys, y'all tell me how you feel about Toya and Reginae. I mean, Armon and Reginae, and Reginae's antics through the relationship. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I will catch you later.